Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So right now we are about 33 participants. Let's wait for a minute or two more so that we can have more people joining us. Meanwhile, I always ask this, what did you have for lunch? So you can let us know in the chat box. Let us know what did you have for lunch. I'm sure you had a great one. Okay, Akanksha had coconut rice. Wow, nice. Endo had chapati. Okay, great. Padma, hi, you had rice and vegetables. Okay. Upama, curry, chutney. That's great. Curd rice, pulao, rice and sambar. Seems like everybody had veg today. I just had pork curry, so I was very excited to tell you all today. Kerala cuisine, Uma, wow, nice. Chapati, brinjal, curry, upama. Okay, many people had upama today. Rice, dal, curry. Yeah, I see everybody having veg today. Rice, sambar, and rasam. Okay, that's great one. Okay, let's wait for one more minute and then we can kickstart. Okay, rice, sambar, and rasam, rice, dal, curry. Okay, okay. Okay, I think thank you everyone for sharing what you had for lunch. That was great to know. So I think we can kickstart now. Meanwhile, we can let people keep joining us. But to honor the time of you all who have joined us on time, we can kickstart. So yeah, welcome to today's session, everyone. My name is Laiman Brahma, and I am hosting today's session. I am a part of capacity building team in Quest Alliance. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks since we have had our last master class. First week was because it was 2nd October, right? And it was public holiday, so we decided not to conduct. And the following week, all of us in the organization are coping with the sudden demise of our COO. Um, so we lost our great mentor and a great leader. uh, Please do remember to keep him and his family in your prayers. Uh, yeah, so this week I am very excited and happy to see you all and welcome once again to this masterclass on how art can enhance joy and well being in learning spaces. Moving forward, so yeah, this masterclass, as you are aware, this is conducted by organized by Trainer Tribe. Trainer Tribe is an online learning community. It is an initiative of Quest Alliance, and in case you want to share about your experience being in this masterclass in your social media handles, please do not forget to use hashtag Trainer Tribe. This being our official hashtag. You may be aware by now that you were on mute. This is to ensure that we have a very meaningful session throughout and do not get distracted by any background noise. So yeah, please make sure that you keep yourself on mute throughout the entire duration. But please feel free to use the chat box. It is always open out there. Make sure that you leave in all your opinions, thoughts, comments, questions. We shall address your questions toward the end of the session. And also for today's session, we would request everyone to leave your videos on. There is no pressure, of course. If you are not comfortable, you can leave it off. But we would invite everyone to have your videos on throughout. So those of you who are joining us for the first time, Quest is non-profit organization. We work towards transforming school-to-work ecosystems through self-learning. And also we equip young people with 21st century skills by transforming learning ecosystems through educational technology, capacity building, and collaboration. And so far, we have reached about 4,000 educators trained across 50 plus organizations, having impacted about 10 years. In 10 years, about 330 training centers, 45 partners in 22 states across India, and 7 state government partnerships. Yeah. I want to take a moment to thank all our donors and partners for their continuous support, and also for spreading the word and getting you folks around here. So yeah, moving ahead to the most exciting and awaited part of today's session, we have Akanksha with us, who leads the partnerships in NalandaWay Foundation. So thank you, Akanksha, for choosing to spend your Friday evening with us and agreeing to engage this masterclass. We are very excited and looking forward. So yeah, over to you, Akanksha.
Thank you so much, Lyman. It's a pleasure being here. Welcome to everybody. Hope you're having a lovely evening. It's just a start. Today, I'm hoping we embark on a journey together. So this is my invitation to all of you to join me on this journey. Just a little bit about what we do at NalandaWay Foundation. We work with disadvantaged children using visual and performative arts to help them express their voices, to build social emotional skills, to build resilience, and also to strengthen foundational learning skills. Today's session in particular focuses on how art can help increase joy and well-being in any learning space. So right now, all of us are confined to our homes, and many of you are teachers who would be reaching out to children through your laptops or phones. But even so, even the virtual learning space, how this can be enriched and enhanced using arts. And we will do this through a series of experiences. And again, I hope you will join me in this, and some reflections. And I will be using some of our learning from the ground, from the field, to weave the narrative of why and how exactly art works. So to start with, Lyman, if you can go to the next screen. And I think at this point, Lyman, are you there? Yes, thank you. So if you can stop sharing, I will just share the screen. I would request everyone to please go to this link that I'm sharing on the chat box, which will take you to a page called Mentimeter, just to quickly find out how you are doing right now. One word to describe how you're feeling right now. So if you could do that. And so we're going to get a mix of things here. I'm getting tired, energized, curious, great, happy. Yes, keep them coming. Curious, there's energetic, excited and curious. And you got a nice smiley there. That's really nice. Okay, keep them coming. Yes, I hope all of you put in exactly how you're feeling. Just have to go to that link. Some of you are typing in the chat box, which is fine. If you type it in the link, then it'll come on the screen and all of us can get an idea of how we all are feeling right now. So learn something new, great, relaxed, eager to learn. All right. Uh, Lyman, you can go back to sharing the screen. The rest can write over chat. We can continue the check-in for another half a minute or so. Can you share your screen again and go to the check-in slide?
Sure, Akanksha. You will have to stop your
Yeah, I will stop
screen.
sharing right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes. And you can go to the next slide after check-in. So most of you are curious, excited, energized, happy. That's great to hear. I'm very excited as well. And let's start this session with a quick warm-up. And let's do this. So of course, in a physical room, we might have, gotten up from our places and done a game or so. But since we're all in our homes, let's try and make the most of this. We will do a warm-up with an online version of something called as a drum circle. So I don't know how many of you have had a chance to attend this, but we will engage in some rhythm and some beats to warm ourselves up for this session. So before I start, my request to each one of you is to A, put on your videos if you can for the warm up so we can see each other. And B, get hold of something around you with which you can make a beat. It could be a pen and your desk. It could be a bottle. It could even be just your hands and your legs, maybe your thighs or clap, something with which you can make a beat. And once you have that, either you could indicate with a thumbs up or you could tell me on chat that you have it. So I'm going to repeat my instruction. Lyman, you can stay on the warm-up slide. Yeah, Padma says thumbs up. Great. हिंदी में अच्छा कोई ऐसी चीज आप लेकर आइए जिससे आप बीट्स बना सकें, क्योंकि हम यहाँ पर एक एक्टिविटी करने वाले हैं. तो आप चाहें तो ताली बजा सकते हैं, डेस्क इस्तेमाल करते हैं, पेन और बॉटल ले सकते हैं, किसी भी चीज से जहां पर आप ताल रख सकें. We are going to try and make some beats together. Yeah. So most of you have that, which is great. And what I'm going to do is use a dholak. Navratri is starting tomorrow. It's time to get the dholak out, the beats out. The other request that I want to make is that all of us stay on mute for this whole time, okay? Because of internet-related lags and varying degrees of rhythmic sense, I think it's best if we are able to hear ourselves and you're able to hear the dholak. So stay on mute, but experience it fully. What I'm going to do is, I will first start a count. So maybe all of you can join me in the count so that we are all on the same speed. And then we will get into some beats, and you can join me by either copying the beat or making a beat which is in the same rhythm. Yeah, which sounds good to you in tandem with what I'm doing here. All right. So let's first start. Show me your hands, both hands. Let's start with a counting. So we are moving at the same tempo, at the same speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got an idea of the speed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add not just 1, but 2, 3, 4 beats to the same counts. So continue your count. You can join me either with a click, a clap, or with your desk. All right, so let's do this again. First the single beat, and then I will add 2, 3, and 4 to it. So let's go 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right. Now my right hand is feeling a bit left out, so I'm going to put it on the dholak as well. We will continue these beats. Now you can join me using any implements that you have. any surface, any way that you would like to make the beats on. Let's continue this. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Once again. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. All right. Now, I think this 3, 4 is feeling a bit left out as well. So I'm going to put that hand on this and we'll now do it as a continuous beat. I hope everyone's got an idea of the speed at which we're moving. At some point, I might increase the speed. So feel free to join in with your own beats wherever you're creating it. All right. I hope everyone's ready. Show me a thumbs up or a yes. Let's hear from you. Everyone ready? Yes. Okay. I'm going to start. I see a few thumbs up. I hope those with the video off are also ready. All right, great. Yes, a few more yeses coming in. Great, let's start this now. And I'm going to make it a continuous one. I'm going to eliminate the 3 and 4. Let's see if you can bring in your own flavor to this. All right, and we start.
Yeah.
I'm going to put off my video. Some of you can't hear me. All right. Some of you were not able to hear me in between. I hope you caught at least some of that. Uh, my palms are tingling. I hope yours are too. If you really participated, some of you saying couldn't hear at all. Okay. So maybe you saw my hands move, or maybe you caught the beat. Any of you who were able to hear me, I think Lyman, you had told me you were able to hear me. So I was hoping some of you still caught it. But in case you didn't, I'm sorry about the network issue. Any of you who are able to still continue on the beat, can I hear from you over chat? If any of you were able to continue what we caught and what we started, this is a good time to hear from you over chat. Yes, Uday, you were you able to hear, or did you continue the beat? This is the unfortunate challenge of being in a virtual space, because I was quite loud in my own room, but clearly the voice didn't carry over the internet. Are you all able to hear me now? Are you able to hear me now at this
Yes,
point in time?
yes, we can hear you.
Yes, yes, okay. So any of you who were able to hear the drum, the dholak, the beats, and did you continue that? Did you engage with that, or did you join in? Uh, I'm hoping at least some of you were able to do that. Yes. Tara says yes. I don't know if that yes is for hearing me or it was very soft. Okay, the sound was soft. All right. But were you still able to do something on your own end? I hope you did. Okay, to some extent. Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. We'll work with what we have here, which is fine. We make plans and they don't always go our way, which is a part of trying something new. Hopefully someday we'll be in the same room and we'll experience this live and in person. But if you've ever experienced a drum circle uh, or any form of singing together with a group of people, Lyman, if you can take me to the next slide, what you might realize is that art is something, an artful experience especially, is something that creates a safe, inclusive space. So this is not about ability, it is not about means, it is simply about the experience, and are you able to engage in the experience and immerse yourself in the experience. And if you recall any such experience where you have been with a group of people and engaged in something artistic together, you would know that it draws even the most reticent and quiet of ones of us or those with varying abilities into a collective. And therefore it is very, very powerful. And I'm starting on this note of a safe, inclusive space, also coming at it not just from a good to have perspective. I think inclusion is a cause unto itself. It is valuable unto itself. But I want to support that with what neuroscience also tells us about feeling safe. If I experience psychological safety in a space, my mind opens up to learning. We Many of us would know that we have a part of our brain which is called the reptilian brain, the part which reacts to stimuli in the environment, scanning for anxieties, anything that could induce anxiety, anything that is a threat to me. And then we have a cognitive brain, the prefrontal cortex. The moment I engage in an experience which makes me feel safe and inclusive, I am able to engage my cognitive mind and I'm able to bring that into my learning. And so, as an educator or as a facilitator, it is a very powerful tool in my hands to start with, especially when I'm starting with a new group or a group which is very diverse. Can I create that psychological safety amongst learners? Um, Lyman, if you could move on to the next one. So, just to share something like a confession, what I tried just now is something entirely new to me. My husband is a percussionist and singer. He's the one who trained me to do this. But I think that's a part of creating artful experiences, is to keep trying something new. Um, and I'm going to do something sort of flip the usual storytelling narrative by showing you a few images on the screen. And hopefully this will be easier to do because we're going to use the chat box to respond. I will show you an image on the screen, which is like it's a photograph. And my question to you would be along with the photograph, and you can respond in the chat box, right? So let's go to the next slide, Lyman. My question to all of you is, what do you notice here? Top of mind. We'll just take like about a minute to respond, and I'm going to just keep reading your responses in the chat box. What do you notice here in this scene? Kiddos, yes. Few beautiful kids with joyful learning, that's right. Happy children, absolutely. Collective learning. Yeah, keep them coming. Enthusiastic children, happy and proud to show what they did. Joyful learning, teamwork, proud to share, happy learning. Children are happy to display their work. Happy and inclusive spaces, completed work, exercise, self-expression, all right. Okay. All right. We have more joyful environment for learning, visual learning, engaged. Okay. I hope you're also following the chat thread so we are able to read each other's responses. Engaged. All right. Lyman, can you go to the next slide? So what this scene is, it's Project Hope in Action. So this is one of NalandaWay's projects, which uses art to build positive mental health in young children. And these are some of the activities that they engage in groups. It's all of what you have said. It is creative self-expression, it's joyful, inclusive learning, it's teamwork. So all of what you have said actually holds true, but I just want to point out that this is a picture from one of the classrooms, one of the Chennai Corporation School classrooms, where they're doing an activity and they're showing it up for the picture. Let's go on to another image, all right? Let's do a little more of this. So what's happening here? What is it that you observe? What do you think is happening? Top of mind again. And this time I'm not reading the chat thread. Let's just read our responses and share on that thread. And I'm going to pick some of those which strike me as common. Okay, so sharing, bonding, peer stories, sharing, yes. Congratulations to each other, joyful, okay. Involvement, excited interactions, preparation, okay. Enjoying in team. Eagerly watching, yes. Happy movement, okay. All right. So let's take all of these responses. Listening, looking happy, great. All right. Lyman, we can go to the next slide. So what is happening here is something called Scholars Program. This is a program that we run with groups of girls in Chennai, Coimbatore, and Delhi, soon going to start in Bangalore. It's an intensive program. We're working with these adolescent girls and helping them become resilient, learn coping skills, strengthen their academic abilities, and create a nurturing sisterhood amongst them. And they are looking happy. So this group of girls, about 20-25 girls, the picture is from the Chennai cohort. They put up a play for the rest of their fellow classmates, schoolmates rather, 2,000 girls in their school. They put up a play on menstrual health and hygiene. Some of these girls had never been on stage before. So you can see their joy and elation at having pulled that off. And their entire program involves a lot of use of drama, movement, journaling, both for self-expression and for skill building. All right, let's go to a few more images. Yes, so I'm going to ask you, what's his story? What do you think is happening in this image? Anything that comes to your mind, top of mind? I made a butterfly today, yes. Okay, says Padma. All right. Joy of accomplishment, creativity, yes. Did it, origami, who am I? All right, very interesting responses, yeah. Yes, go on. Critical thinking, interesting. Some creative paperwork, what do you think? Very interesting. Where our attention goes and how we're interpreting it, and what we're sharing with the group, inventing. Okay, Lyman, we can go to the next slide. So this is the Swin. He's an 8-year-old boy in grade 3 from Satyamangalam. He's a special child, a child with special needs. He has difficulty interacting with others. And reading, writing skills are also not the same as other children in his classroom. He loves the weekly NalandaWay art classes that happen, and he loves art and craft. He's in fact very good at making these beautiful butterflies, like you say, I think it's a butterfly, danglers and some of these pieces. And over time, his self-confidence has improved significantly as he's engaging in these art processes. Yes, we can go to the last picture for this series. What's his story? Let's see what comes up. Fish, task well, yeah. Happy, confident, yes. Happy child, yeah. Collage is something you love, yeah. Sure. Okay. So sense of completion, happiness is coming up. Bold. All right. I could make a fish out of many paper cutting. Okay. Confident, eager to share. Yes. Okay. Interest, happy with my work. All right. Lovely. Thanks for your responses. Let's go to the next slide, Lyman. So I can tell you about this child. His name is Pushpak. He's also from grade 3, 8-year-old boy. He's son of a migrant worker from Nepal. And he obviously stands out because of his looks, but also this is a school in Chennai. So his inability to converse in Tamil is also a reason why he stands out, and not always, not necessarily in a good way. He used to be teased by his classmates, couldn't fit in, couldn't get along with them. And also, the communication barrier was strong. Over time, through these weekly art classes, all of which happen in groups, children doing and sharing in groups, he has been able to develop friendships with his classmates because art has a language of its own, I suppose. And it's also a way of connecting with our shared humanity beyond the visible differences. So, yes, so that's him. We can go to the next slide. So, what I want to convey firstly, before we process this, one obvious thing is all of you gave so many different kinds of answers, all of which were actually right, and all of which went into the real story of that person or that group of people. Whenever there is an art experience, and especially when we're using art as a medium for well-being, as a medium for something, there is no one right answer. It is not evaluative, therefore. It is more as a way to allow me to explore, to express, to connect. And this is one example of how we could flip anything around, where as an educator or a teacher, I might be tempted to give things more, but the challenge and the invitation in using art is how can I draw out? How can I draw out what is inside their minds, the minds of children and adolescents and youth, whoever we use art with? And there is no one way to do it, right? Just as was evident from all your responses, all of which were beautiful and different sort of parts of the same story. Yes, Lyman, we can go to the next slide. Okay, let's do one more exercise now. I would, before we do this exercise, I would just want to know, since most of your videos are off, I would just want to know that all of you can hear me very clearly. Am I audible? You can just indicate. Several of
Yes.
your videos are on, which is good. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, great. Wonderful. So we can move on. In this activity, what we are going to do is we'll first experience something together as a group, all of us, and then we will go into breakouts to reflect on what we just did. Yes. So before I start this, can we take maybe half a minute to just grab any piece of paper? If you can find a piece of paper, a blank sheet of paper around you, and maybe one or two colors, anything. It could be a pen, it could be a sketch pen, pencil, color, crayon, anything, a couple of colors. Once you have them, if you can just indicate over chat. So blank sheet of paper and one or two colors. Yes, if we can just grab hold of that from around us and let me know once you have it. I see Gabriel already has it. I am trying to see whose videos are on and I can look at what you're doing. A blank sheet of paper, please. Pragati says yes. All right. Chaitra says done. Great. We'll wait for the others.
Okay, you open it.
Yes. Suchusmita, Anto, Josh. Yes. All right. All right. Maybe another 10 seconds, 30 seconds.
हाजिरी लानी है के कल नाला में
And I would request all of you to stay on mute. Yes. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So all of us have a piece of paper. You can put that aside for the first minute or so. Put it just next to you. Keep it next to you. And for the first minute or so, I would request all of you to close your eyes. So close your eyes. Put whatever is in your hand aside. Keep your hands in a restful position. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breathing. Bring your attention to your breathing with your eyes closed. Just watch your breath as it goes in, fills you up, and as you slowly exhale, it goes out of your nose and becomes one with air. Once again, take a deep breath and observe your breath as it goes in. And as you slowly exhale, imagine that the breath that is leaving your nose is becoming a breeze and it's catching speed, slowly becoming wind. And as this wind gathers force, it is becoming a gale. Once again, when you take a deep breath in and slowly exhale, imagine this breath going through different forms as a breeze, halki si hawa, and then slowly wind, and eventually it's becoming a storm or a gale. And stay with this sense. I'd like you to slowly open your eyes. You can rub your palms together, place them in your eyes, slowly open your eyes. What I would like all of you to do is that paper that you have taken, divide that into 4 parts. You can draw a line down the middle and one across. So you will have 4 boxes. Yeah, so one line vertical, one line horizontal. You have 4 different boxes or panels. What I would like you to do is now pick up any color that you have got hold of. It could be a color which also reflects your mood right now, your state of mind. How are you feeling? Are you feeling red? Are you feeling blue? Or whatever that mood is. Or if it's the gray of a pencil, take that color and show the movement of your breath from breeze to wind, to gale, to storm. So you have 4 different boxes. Show this progression using those 4 boxes in any way that you would like. Yeah, so we will take about 5 minutes. Whichever way you would like to show this, that breath which is leaving your nose, how does it become a breeze? And then go on to the next box. How does it pick up speed? And what does it turn into? And then it picks up more speed, and then what does it turn into finally at the end? And we'll do this in 5 minutes of silence. Lyman, you can go to the next slide that has the instructions for this. Yeah, we'll leave it at this.
या तो मेरे हैं। ये तो मेरा मेरे जवाब।
Once you're done, please indicate on the chat box that you're done. All right, many of you are done. At this stage, Lyman, if you can go to the next slide. She is going to divide all of us into different breakout. It's a very simple, small sharing round. And I hope all of you feel comfortable enough in sharing and showing what you have made and how you feel about that experience, including when you were trying to observe your breathing. And when you try to visualize what that was like, the color you used, why you used that. So each one can take about a minute and share both your drawing as well as your experience. Yeah, so Lyman, can you help us with the breakouts? We'll have about 6 people, I think, in each breakout.
Yes, about 5 to 6 people in one breakout. So request everyone to please join.
Everything, right? From the breathing to the visual that you made to the sharing. One word, how was this experience for you? If you could share over chat and then proceed. And Lyman, you can share your screen on that slide where you last were. Yeah. So let's hear from people over chat. One word to describe your experience of this exercise. Anything. Okay, wonderful. So for some, if it's relaxing, for some creative, okay. I hope you were able to show and share and converse. At least the breakout that I had, it was quite insightful. The same exercise can work so differently for different people. Thanks for sharing. Lyman, we can go to the next slide. And apart from, of course, experiencing the relaxation that comes with this and the connection that comes with sharing, the one thing that I want to leave all of you with, and many of you met new friends, that's wonderful, is that when we're using art for joy, for well-being, it is not about the product. What you have made might look entirely different from what I have made, and it most likely will, but it is about the process, about immersing myself in the process, and that is what actually brings the joy. The product is ultimately mine. It makes sense to me, and there can be as many different kinds of or ways of doing this as there are people. So if I'm facilitating one such experience, I need to keep in mind that it is not about reaching one particular outcome for every child or every participant, but how can I create that experience for them? Can I facilitate or create the space where they're able to fully immerse themselves in an experience and then reflect on that experience? And that's where the learning comes from. Yep. Lyman, you can go to the next slide. All right, very quickly going over some research which, sorry, sound is breaking, is it? Now, is this better? Is my sound better? I'll just try switching off my video.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
very
okay.
clear.
Okay, thanks. So just a little bit about the science of art. Yeah, you can go to the next slide, Lyman. So what does art allow us to do? Art allows exploration. So you are able to explore both the inner and the outer worlds. It allows expression, especially for those children who are not verbal, who are not very comfortable with words. Art gives a wonderful outlet. Sometimes I might be comfortable with words, but there may be experiences in my life which are very difficult for me to articulate, especially if these are children that come from very difficult backgrounds, from disadvantaged communities. They have a tough life at home. Art gives them that space, that openness to express and to process their experiences. And it gives a sort of a release. It also builds connection. So I particularly like this image because it's connection with other people in groups, as we saw for Pushpak earlier, yes, but it's also connection between the brain and the heart, in a way between the cognitive and the emotional. And it brings my head, my hand, my heart, my spirit, everything together in an experience. Lyman, the next slide. So this is a picture of a girl from one of our classrooms again. What does art build when you immerse in an artful experience? And this could be a structured or a semi-structured experience. It builds confidence. I'm able to express, share, speak up at times. Over time, I build my own confidence, creativity, and imagination, of course, especially when there's no one fixed outcome and I'm left free to give it my own shape and form. Critical thinking, concentration, and focus. As educators, sometimes we find it hard to focus a group of children in a class. If we start with a song or beats and everyone's together, for instance, my mind is totally in it. I'm fully there, right? And when I'm immersed in an experience that gives me joy, my concentration also goes up. That muscle is also getting built. Emotional intelligence, which is a set of many different skills, from recognizing and articulating my own emotions to that of others. Empathy. So I think all of you engaged in a bit of empathy when you were trying to interpret what was happening in those different images. You were trying to imagine what is happening with those children or that child. Persistence, not giving up. Discipline, self-awareness, decision making. So all of these things over time come from art-based experiences. Yes, Simon, next slide. So I've just pulled out certain excerpts from research reports and studies. One of the things that caught my attention was how there is toxic stress that often children experience. Toxic means it is actually very harmful for them. Sometimes it could come from their own circumstances and experiences, but often it comes from academic pressure. And the Center on the Developing Child at Harvard University, they have pointed out that art can actually help in this case, because this toxic stress can have a long-term damage on the learning process of a child. So of course, these are complex words: derail the development architecture. But essentially, what is it saying? The way I learn naturally can get hampered if I face a lot of stress and anxiety. And academic pressure puts this anxiety as well. It's one big source of anxiety for children growing up. You can explore this more on these websites. I'm just sharing some of these as we go along. Next one. On the other hand, when you if you immerse yourself in a joyful experience, what Csikszentmihalyi, I always find this name very complex to pronounce, but the guy who has written the book Flow and has spoken about how you can reach a sense of forgetting yourself and time when you're in some experience which fully draws you in, says actually joy has a huge role to play, because when I experience joy and I'm engaged in those experiences, what it does is it turns a person into someone who's curious, who's self-motivated, will take risks, think out of the box, and I'm able to combine unconventional with the traditional. Yeah, again, you can look this up further. He has a TED talk as well online. Next one. These are just some of the reports, global reports, that speak of how arts helps in healing. It's used in therapeutic situations. But here the case I'm making is not just of art as an isolated experience, but art combined with a practice. For instance, what we did as breathing, if I do it over a longer period of time, it's helping build mindfulness, because I'm talking about breathing and focusing on breathing, using colors to express my emotions and mood. We could have a conversation about moods and emotions and how breathing can ground us. So I am trying to bring us to that integration of art into whatever experiences children have. Next. So a little bit of a discussion on what kinds of tools and strategies we can use. One of those we did, two of those actually we did. So one was the visual cues that I gave you. You could use any imagery. For example, right now, children are in lockdown. They might be missing their friends. They might be anxious because their parents are anxious and there's uncertainty in the air. You can use any imagery, visual imagery, to trigger a conversation, find out how they're doing. You could use breathing and then colors. Those are some strategies. Lyman, the next slide. I just want to share one particular tool at NalandaWay that we've created. It's called Art for Wellbeing Parent Guides. These can actually be used by teachers as well, and the link to download those is given here. Back in March end, when the lockdown was announced, the team quickly jumped into action when we couldn't meet the children that we used to meet regularly in schools, and came up with a set of guides that parents could use at home with very little resources. So this is especially for low resourced backgrounds. Very simple, easy to do activities, and they're currently available in 17 languages. There are different guides starting with age 3, so you can go to that age appropriate guide. The breathing exercise that we did is from one of these guides. I've taken from there, and you will find more such activities. Next slide. These are accessible for free. They're online on that link, so you can go ahead and download and use them, try them out. This is what it looks like. And there are different parts to this guide. One is on self-awareness, or recognizing, understanding emotions. One is on coping strategies or mechanisms. Next one, Lyman. So now my question to the group is, When we say art, we often think art is just coloring and painting and maybe drama at most. Can we think of what other art forms we can use, especially with minimal resources, like art forms or resources? Can we do a quick brainstorm? What all art forms can we think of? Yes, dance. So we can follow the chat. I'm waiting for responses. You could have dance, you could have songs, movement. Yes. Yes, collage, there's mime, music, absolutely. What else? Drama. Yeah, so more ideas coming up. Yes, absolutely. Theater, photography, absolutely. Role play, music, singing. Yes, yes. So more ideas. What else I could do? Singing comes very easily to us. Music, singing, yes. Okay, let's go to the next slide, Lyman. Just a few ideas. It's a medium of expressing things, absolutely. Here are just a few ideas that I'm just sort of sending your way. Uh, Beyond what you all have suggested, there is weaving, there is storytelling that could happen anywhere and anytime. Masks, you could use puppets or poetry. Origami, you could use clay or even clay that's available outside, like mud pottery. Sketching, there's doodling, um, even your rangoli or kolam that we do, pattern drawing. There are just weaving, knitting. There are just so many different forms. We can explore anywhere, anytime. Yes, there's glass painting, absolutely. And with very, very little need for buying or getting resources. Next slide, Lyman. So the point I'm trying to make is art can be created anywhere as long as I'm allowing myself to be imaginative. So it's only, I can literally take a piece of paper and make art with this, or design an art-based experience for my children using this. It doesn't require me to be an artist. I just need to create that experience for everyone. And as much as I'm able to imagine, I can actually enable that experience for the others. Yeah. Next one. What skills and attitudes do you think you need if you have to facilitate arts for joy and well-being? Can we again do a quick brainstorm on this? You could respond over chat. What kinds of skills and attitudes do we need as educators, as facilitators, if we have to facilitate these experiences for children or young people or whoever we work with? Can we hear from all of you? Positive, yes. Open mind, absolutely. Empathetic, yeah. Listening, observation, sure. Interest of doing things, not right or wrong, absolutely. Love, patience, understanding, willing to learn. Non-judgmental, absolutely. You've said it. Learning by doing with students, yes. Good speaker, Ruxana, one may or may not be a good speaker. As long as I'm a good communicator, I'm able to communicate the point or the instructions and also understand fully, connect, yes. All right. I think you have captured it, all of you. Open, curious, norms. Yes, I think you mean you need to set some norms of how we're going to do things. If that's what you mean, I agree. Communication skill, encouraging. Yes. Lyman, can we go to the next slide? Patience, active listening, feedback. Yeah. So I've just zeroed in on a few that I feel are the most critical. What you all have shared is spot on. The first thing is non-judgment. So when we're engaging in art, any kind of judgment of right, wrong, good, bad, any of that needs to really go out of the window, because if I'm trying to create well-being, I'm trying to create a safe space and want to include everyone, I think I need to suspend my judgment. It's difficult to be without judgment completely, but I can suspend it. Yeah. So that's the first thing. Openness, open to being challenged also, because more often than not, children will end up challenging us and our ideas, and they'll come up with things that completely will blow our minds. Cooperative efforts, yes. And I think learning by doing, someone said, doing with children, amazing if you're able to participate with them. Experimentative, I think experimentation is important, trying out new things. That's when you discover what's working, what's not. It brings joy to the educator as well, I think. but constantly trying new things. Small things need not be big things. Empathy, understanding if a child is struggling somewhere, if there is some pain or trauma they are not able to process, and giving them the space and the time and the patience, as someone said. Playfulness, because ultimately, if the process itself is not enjoyable, I think the point is kind of lost. If I'm feeling pressured, or if I'm putting pressure on others, then there will be no joy in the experience of art, right? Freedom to speak, absolutely. We can go to the next slide, Lyman. So I just want to quickly recap as we're closing this session. We're at the end of our time. I just want to take a minute and take us through all that we have discussed today. I know I tried to bring in a lot, but hopefully these are just starting points for future exploration for all of us. One is the point on psychological safety, from where we can start building a connection. And it also opens up the children's minds to learning. They are able to integrate their experiences, even cognitive experiences, along with the emotional. And when there is inclusion and there's acceptance and belonging, I can, as a participant, I can completely immerse myself in that space. So, one might think as an educator, where is the time? If you're teaching a subject and you're feeling the pressure of, teaching the subject itself, you might say, where is the time? To do an art-based activity. But, I would argue that the point of teaching is so that children learn, and for that they need to be in the space of mind, or the state of mind to learn, right? So if I'm a farmer, I will not sow seeds unless the ground is ready, unless the field is tilled, and the conditions are ideal, right? So मतलब हो सकता है कि मुझे सिलेबस खत्म करना हो, मुझे प्रेशर लग रहा हो, पर अगर बच्चे सीखने की स्थिति में नहीं है तो मैं कुछ भी कर लूं, वो नहीं सीखेंगे. So first, creating that space and that state for them to fully be present, alert, active, and engaged. Art does a wonderful job of all of these, and that they're a part of this group. And it helps exploration, expression, connection in any learning space. Some very basic human needs, I think, get fulfilled here. It's about the process, not the product. So when I'm designing such an experience, I need to ask myself, how am I immersing myself and drawing the participants into completely being in the experience? And how am I allowing them to reflect? What kinds of questions am I going to ask them that they will be able to reflect on their own experiences? There are as many ways of doing art as there are people, so no one right answer. So we can go find your own way to do this. But there is a strong case for how art really helps us feel well, feel good, feel better, and joyful, and how that in turn nurtures us in multiple ways. Resources can come from anywhere, anything. Imagination is the keyword. And as all of you have shared, non-judgment, openness, sense of experimentation are actually all that we need in terms of skills. We don't need any special training to introduce art into what we're doing with children. I think we just need that willingness and some of these qualities. So with that, we'll throw the floor open to question and answer. If anyone has any questions, then this is a good time to bring it up. And you can also unmute yourself and ask. Chat is one option, or you can just speak up either way. So last sort of, we'll take about 5 minutes and then wrap up. So any questions? Anyone would like to share anything? All of you are educators. Maybe I've missed something and you want to share from your experience. That would be great.
Yeah, thank you, Akanksha. So, yeah, you can please feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask any questions or any thoughts or opinions that you want to throw in. You can use your chat box, otherwise, feel free to use unmute yourself as well.
So I think, Lyman, the
Meanwhile,
poll has come up
yeah,
already.
sure. So meanwhile, we have just launched the poll. You can take a minute and give us your feedback. But this is not the end. We have another feedback from Akanksha as well. So first take this feedback and we will launch the another one.
So we'll just wait for a few minutes if anyone would like to share
Yeah,
anything or ask any questions.
yeah.
So floor is open. Any thoughts, any reflections? My school teacher used to say, if there's complete silence, either everyone's understood everything or nothing at all. So I think the facilitation equivalent is either you've done a fabulous job or you've just completely been on another planet. So anything
think,
from anyone?
yeah, I think you have made it so clear that, yeah, I see one question from Padma you would
Yes,
like to
yes.
read.
Padma
Yeah.
has asked a question. Migrant children being aggressive and violent with each other. Any suggestions with how we can use art to help these children to modify their behavior? Yes, absolutely, Padma. I think it would need a structured intervention, a process where, firstly, they're allowed a safe space to express and process their experience of it might be a very stressful experience for them where they're moving constantly, their parents are not around, and there could be so many reasons why that violence is coming up in their behavior. So art can absolutely be used, especially if you find that children have a lot of physical energy and aggression. Art forms that allow for movement, where there's music, there's drama games, all of these with certain set boundaries, boundary conditions that you can lay down in the beginning, that this is how we are going to take care and be careful with each other. That gives them a space to, even role plays, for instance, it gives them a space to express and bring out some of these emotions, depending on their age, and even conflicts. And you could use those as starting points, to then over time build trust with them and help them with these experiences. So absolutely, I think before modifying their behavior, my suggestion would be to create a space where they're able to express and share first. And I think that over time will help with the behavior modification. Yeah. So I think it's a longer conversation, but I hope I've addressed what you wanted to know.
Hi,
Lyman, yeah, yeah, Karishma. Hi.
this is Karishma. So I am associated with an organization, and we are working on the curriculum of visual arts by building 21st century skills. And we are in the process of building the curriculum, but I just wanted to get some clarification. So, I mean, that would be a longer conversation, but I just wanted to request if it would be possible to connect with you
Of course,
offline.
of course. So the last slide is my email ID. I'd love to connect
Okay.
Karishma outside of this workshop. So I
Yeah,
think,
sure.
Lyman, we can go to the next slide, which is about the one takeaway. Would like to just understand that, and then I could share my email ID on chat as well as slide.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So could I request just the previous slide? So I'm not doing any separate this thing, Lyman, a Mentimeter. Just if people could write in the chat one thing that they've taken away, one thing that's stayed with you.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you could write on the chat box, what is the one thing that has stayed with you over this session? Yeah, so I hope that question is, so many of you are saying that you enjoyed it. It was informative. Thank you for that. But it would really help to know what has stayed with you. Any one thing. So tremendous possibilities. Yes, thank you. Art can create a joyful learning experience. Yes. Mentimeter, okay. So that's art connects heart and mind. Yeah. Try to open up. All right. Would be great to hear from as many of you as we can. Breakroom online activity was a new experience. All right. Glad to hear that. Art is as essential as other learning forms. Yep, totally agreed. I think especially at a time like now when all of us are cooped up inside and socially isolated, expression through art. Art helps to express feelings. Yes. Make it joyful and then teach them. Agreed. You can go to the next slide, Lyman. Just for the email. Oh, this doesn't have the email ID. Okay. So I think I'll just leave my email ID here.
Yeah, you
Connects
can
head, heart,
ping
hand.
it in the chat box.
I think I've already said it, but I'll still say it again. Yeah. And also for those of you who would like to access more arts-based resources, please look up NalandaWay Foundation on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can start following us there. We share a lot of resources. If you'd like to partner, we're very happy to help other organizations join hands in doing something together or sharing our resources as well. So you could write to me, but definitely I'm just putting down the different places where you can find NalandaWay Foundation. Yeah. Thank you. And I think we can close with that, Lyman. Is there anything else? Thank you, everyone, for being
No.
here.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Akanksha, for this wonderful and meaningful, engaging session throughout, and also to everyone who has joined us today and made it such an engaging one. Right, you all have been so interactive and participating throughout. So thank you very much for that. And like I said in the beginning, this masterclass is organized by Trainer Tribe, and we are on Facebook. I will share you the link in the chat box. Please come and join us on the platform. It will be nice to have you all. And also, if you want to have this conversation ongoing, we can definitely have that in the platform. So Akanksha will be there with us on the platform also. So in case you want to reach out to her, you can reach out directly through her email ID or through Trainer Tribe as well. And we would love to have you on Trainer Tribe. So please do join. I have posted in the link in the chat box, right?
Yep. And thanks to Quest
And
Alliance for organizing this. Thank you so much for this platform.
thank you very much. We
Thanks,
definitely
everyone.
look forward to having you again. And also
Absolutely.
to everyone who have participated with us today, we definitely love to see you again in the next masterclass. So masterclass is held every Friday on Zoom at 4 p.m. So I will be very happy to see you again. So with this, thank you everyone and have a great weekend. See you in the next masterclass.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, your email ID was
Oh, it's
here.
come up
So
now.
sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you everyone. We will be ending the meeting shortly.
Yeah.
So I will be ending the meeting now. Thank you
Sure, Lyman. Bye.
everyone. Bye and have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.